What is going on, nation? It is your boy Seaton, bringing you our PWC Season 6, Week 7, I believe, team builder against Luna, coach of the Brookhaven Banettes. His link to his YouTube channel will be in the description down below. And his team is super annoying and should be up on your screen to the right. Before I get too much further, I just realized that my EVs are not correct because I literally just changed this set before I started recording. Um, anyway, sorry about that. So his team has Mega Heracross, Nihiligo, Zygarde 10%, Empoleon, Fortress, Blaziken, Articuno, Hoopa, Rotom Wash, Hydreigon, and Whimsicott. So, right off the bat, Mega Heracross is an absolute monster with support from the likes of Articuno and Whimsicott because they both have access to Tailwind, and Mega Heracross's attack is already sky high, so I don't really want to be having to deal with that. And his team looks weird on paper, but like synergetically, they all work so well together. Like you look at Nihiligo's special defense, and it's sky high, and its defense is paper thin. He matched that up with a Fortress. Empoleon is also there for a nice mixed defensive steel type, so you can't just be running Hidden Power Fire on your like bulky psychic types. And I don't know, his team just covers itself really well. I don't necessarily agree with his Z captains. Sorry, I keep dropping things. I think Hoop is a really strong Z captain, but I don't know. I don't necessarily like Blaziken that much. I probably would have given it. I guess with his team there isn't like too much others. But they have access. Blaziken primarily has access to Z Sunny Day, which can make it an absolute monster. Hoopa has a very diverse move pool. But yeah, I mean, along the same lines, I could see him running like Sunny Day Whimsicott, Tailwind Whimsicott, stuff like that to try to stop my weather team because obviously I have rain and I also have hail. Hydreigon has primarily been choice scarfed on his team, and I've noticed that he's been running a lot of dual scarfs. I think in 4 of his matches so far, he's had dual scarfs. There are a couple other things I noticed. Hang on, let me pull up my notes real quick. He never runs speed on his Rotom washes, which is really interesting. And he really likes the 50% berries on his Fortress. In addition, his Rotom usually has a form of screens on it. So like if it's defensive Rotom, he'll usually run light screen on it to just make it even more annoying to deal with. But anyway, he also speed creeps a lot, so I'm trying to take advantage of his speed creeping. Start off the bat, we have our Tornadus Therian. It's rocking 341 speed, which seems a little bit strange, but his fastest member is Nihiligo, which hits 339. So if he brings his Zygarde 10%, he's probably going to bring it at 340 speed because he knows I'm going to be, or 341 speed because he knows I'm going to be creeping that. So I want to make sure that I can at least speed tie with that thing. Obviously, it has access to E-speed, which could get annoying, but I think I have the likes to keep it in check. That's the reason for the speed. Rocking Air Slash because I don't want to miss that Mega Heracross. Focus Blast, Heat Wave, and Tailwind. Tailwind is in case he brings Tailwind Articuno or more likely Tailwind Whimsicott, because obviously if he Tailwinds then U-turns, I can get my own Tailwind up on the second turn, and his Tailwind is essentially nullified. That's obviously in an ideal scenario when I have Tornadus in on the Whimsicott, but we'll see. Additionally, Air Slash again so I don't miss. Focus Blast with the Z Crystal is to hit Rotom for about 65 to 70%. I'm assuming he's going to run full Fizz Death to try to shut down my Swampert with the likes of Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Pain Split, and Will-O-Wisp. I initially had Swampert and Politoed on the team anyway, but I decided I wanted to save those sets in case we meet in the championship match, because like I said, this team is really annoying to prep for, and I could see him going pretty far. But Heat Wave, obviously, to make sure I hit the Fortress. Z-Focus Blast can also be used on the Empoleon, which will probably be Wakanberry or Shukaberry if it comes. Next up, we have our Jolteon, rocking 394 speed, because if by some reason I can't get my Tailwind up with his Tailwind, I just want to make sure that I'm outspeeding his Pokemon. Unless he's running like a lot of speed on his Heracross, I'm still going to outspeed it. And I think I'm going to change this to Hidden Power Flying, so it's not as big of an issue. Because Extreme Speed 100% well not 100%, but it's going to do like 70% to my Jolteon if it's banded. So I don't really see the point in running Hidden Power Ice to hit that, and I switched Shadow Ball to Signal Beam so I can hit the likes of, Hydreigon, which will be really beneficial. But I had 4 move syndrome, so I ended up throwing on the Assault Vest just because I don't necessarily feel I need another item with it. Pretty straightforward set. There's nothing really to take advantage of Volts Absorb with, except for Rotom. Never mind. I was going to say I could probably switch it to Quick Feet, but I don't want to do that. Next up, we have Livestrong, our Kieran Black, rocking 16 speed in case he tries to speed creep. No speed Silvally, which I have brought a couple times. I'm actually going to move that up to 20 just out of paranoia. But it's rocking the Agua Berry with Earth Power, Hidden Power Flying, Ice Beam, and Substitute. I can sub up on the likes of Rotom. I can sub up on the likes of Empoleon, unless he's rocking the Flash Cannon, which he more than likely is, if he has it. Fortress isn't doing too much to me, so I'm not really worried about that. Blaziken can get off good damage. Articuno I can probably sub up on with my HP investment. But yeah, basically what this set does at 220 HP, his Heracross first Rock Blast doesn't break a sub. So it will take, even if he's 252 Adamant, it'll take at least 2 Rock Blasts to take out a sub, because it does about 22%. And then I can obviously live, and then that will activate my Agua Berry, and then I can hit him with a Hidden Power Flying. You're noticing a trend of me being paranoid of Mega Heracross, and that's because this thing is tearing through the league right now. Earth Power to hit pretty much everything on his team. He doesn't really have an Earth Resist aside from, or Ground Resist aside from Articuno and Whimsicott, which I can hit with the Ice Beams then as well. Terra Volt's going to be really nice, because if I can catch the Rotom Wash, I wouldn't be surprised if he's Shukaberry Rotom Wash just to stunt on me. That'd be actually really funny. That's the Kieran Black set. I think it's pretty good to take advantage of some of his team. The Agua Berry, I was thinking I might still switch it to Life Orb, which is strange to have sub Life Orb. But after, I need the Life Orb damage to one-shot a Heracross. But I think it's kind of redundant, because then I'll pretty much take myself out. I think I'm going to stick to the Agua Berry. But, things could change yet. I'm still kind of mulling over my team. But next up, we have Cosmo, the Silvally Fairy, which is kind of a interesting bring. I was really torn between Silvally Poison, in case he brings Toxic. Well, I think he's going to bring Toxic Spikes Nihiligo, and Silvally Dark, so that way I could bring it in on the Whimsicott and prevent him from getting off Prankster shenanigans. Ultimately, obviously, Whimsicott would end up beating this thing one-on-one if I'm Silvally Dark. Silvally Dark. So I decided it wasn't worth that at the end of the day. So this is going to be my Hydreigon check. That being said, he'll probably have Flash Cannon, but hopefully I can work around that with my last Mon. It's just an overall pretty solid bring. It can come in on Empoleons pretty well. It's pretty much here just for Hydreigon, but I have a Ninetales Alola, so I might actually still change this too. As you can tell, I'm not the most confident in this team. Excuse me. I actually chose Luna to beat me in our weekly pick'ems, because I'm just like, really struggling against this team. But I'm rocking enough speed to shoot. What is the speed for? I think it's for modest Hoopa. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's for because the rest of his team is pretty. Or no, it's for Jolly Mega Heracross at least max speed, so I can hit it with multi attack or flamethrower, whichever. But Pursuit is to trap the Hoopa Unbound, or not the Hoopa Unbound, just the standard Hoopa. And if he switches out, it's going to 100% kill him. If he stays in, it's going to do about 70%, and that thing is going to be pretty much useless. Flamethrower, pretty obvious. He has a fortress. I just want to make sure that I'm hitting that. And then multi-attack is pretty much for general coverage for everything other than his steel types. I have no means of touching Nihiligo with this set, but I think I can work around that, hopefully. Nihiligo is another big issue for my team. As of now, I have a couple of free agent transactions that I'm going to be making because there's a Pokemon that matches up really well against Luna's team and really well against my in-division rivals team. So I'll probably be making that after the battle. Next up, we have Objection. Rocking the eject button, Intimidate. Eject button is so I can bring it in on a Heracross, take whatever hit he goes for the first turn, and then get a clean switch out. Enough speed to outspeed no speed Heracross. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting set. Hopefully it works out pretty well for me. Because this thing obviously doesn't get U-turn, but getting off the Intimidate is huge against his team. So I'm going to rock Close Combat, Aerial Ace, Sucker Punch, and Rapid Spin. Aerial Ace, obviously, for if he's sub Heracross. I can break the subs with that. I can hit it super effectively then as well. Close Combat, General Stab. It hits both of his steel types neutrally, at least. He has Hoopa as his only immunity, and then Whimsicott is a resist, but Whimsicott isn't really a resist because it's so paper thin. Sucker Punch for Hoopa. You can get a sense of what I think is coming in this matchup. Rapid Spin in case he tries to hazard stack with Fortress, and yeah, pretty interesting EV spreads. The 88 defense with the positive nature is so I only take around, I think it's a little bit over 50% with the first Close Combat. And if I have a parting shot going into him, it would be even better. But last up, we have Write This Down. Well, I guess second to last up, we have Write This Down. Luna likes taking notes during his battles, which I always found interesting because like you can always check the the scroll bar on the side in Pokemon Showdown, and when you hover over it, it tells you what moves have been revealed and all that. But this is to hopefully catch a lead Scarf Hydreigon getting greedy. If he goes for a Flash Cannon, obviously a normal Flash Cannon would kill, but I'm rocking with Berry, so I can hopefully get rid of that Hydreigon turn 1. Coverage is Moonblast, Hidden Power Fire, Psyshock, and Aurora Veil. Psyshock is to hit Nihiligo, Moonblast to try to take out Hydreigon, Hidden Power Fire for the only true switch-in that he has to it, which is Fortress Empoleon. I don't think Empoleon's coming, but the Fortress to catch that would be really nice. Yeah, same speed tier as the rest of them. Trying to catch the speed creeping. But yeah, and then Aurora Veil is just for having Aurora Veil because it's really beneficial to have. But yeah, and then lastly we have the 7th member of our team, which could end up being the MVP, which is the Timer, because Luna likes to take his time when he battles, very meticulous with his planning. But once that 10-minute mark hits, I'm sorry buddy, but I'm turning on the timer because I don't know if I have it in me to battle for over an hour like some of the other ones have. Check out Luna's channel for sure. He's in, I think, 3 or 4 different leagues right now, and he's doing really well in all of them. So, really strong battler, really good prep, battle prep from him. Yeah, until the battle, guys. Peace.